Hello. So tonight I want to talk a little bit about Jehovah's Witnesses, how they shun former members, and, well, how completely dishonest they are about the fact that they shun former members. I'm just going to preface this by saying I'm not looking for pity or sympathy or anything like that. I want to set the record straight. So, Jehovah's Witnesses have some articles on their website that, at best, are massively dishonest, and more realistically, are an outright lie. So, any any Jehovah's Witness who's being honest will tell you, yes, they shun former members. Anyone who is a former member can easily tell you, yes, I am being shunned. And I'm going to share my experience being shunned by my family, and some of the interactions I've had since. And also, I want to point out on their website just how absolutely dishonest they're being. Honestly, for a God that supposedly represents truth and has this perfect standard that He wants His servants to live up to. Um, they sure are pretty dishonest. So I'm going to start this by pulling up this article here on jw.org. It's in their FAQ under shunning. And it says, do Jehovah's Witnesses shun those that used to belong to their religion? If they were being honest, the answer would be yes. Again, this is not a secret. Any former Jehovah's Witness can tell you about how they're being shunned. Any current Jehovah's Witness, if they're being honest, will admit that yes, they shun their former members. And what makes this article really bad in my mind, if it was being honest, it would say, yes, here's a scripture, we shun our members, here's why. It doesn't say that. It dances around the issue, and it never even answers the question. So here's the text of this article. Again, you can go on jw.org and read it yourself. And I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but it dances around the question without answering it. The third paragraph, to me, is particularly disgusting. So again, instead of saying, yes, we shun former members, it comes up with this hypothetical situation and then doesn't even answer the question. It goes so far as to say that normal family affections and dealings continue. That's not at all, by any remote measure, what happens when you leave Jehovah's Witnesses. That's not even close. Whoever wrote that should be ashamed of themselves for making such a lie. I mean, it's disgusting. So I'm just going to share my story of the shunning I'm going through so far, and hopefully I can help set the record straight and fight some of the misinformation and flat out lies Jehovah's Witnesses are spreading about themselves. I spent months, if not years, struggling with Jehovah's Witnesses, whether or not I still believed in them. And after so many sleepless nights and so much anxiety, I finally came to the conclusion, no, I don't believe in them anymore, and I need to accept that. But I knew that would mean losing my family. Up until, a couple months ago, I was very close to my family. I'd hang out with them all the time. My sisters and my brothers-in-law were my best friends. I call my mom all the time and talk to her. And, now at best they won't even talk to me. Or at worst, I'll show you some of the other messages I've gotten. There is no correct way to leave Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't provide a option for, you just don't believe anymore? Here, you can just leave. If you leave, you are bad and you are shunned. That's how it is. But I tried my best. I wrote up this letter, and I went around to everyone in my family and hand-delivered it to them. And actually, I delivered 2 letters. So Jehovah's Witnesses aren't allowed to read apostate information. Anything critical of their organization, regardless of how true it is apostate and bad, and they're not allowed to read it. So I actually wrote 2 letters. The first one, I was very, very careful not to say anything that could offend them, because I'm trying to respect their beliefs. I'm going to read the letter I gave to everyone, just to try to set so you understand the tone I was trying to set before we look at, kind of the response I've gotten. So the letter reads, "Dear family, I have been trying to improve my mental health. I have learned that I am a perfectionist, but of course not the good kind. I get extreme anxiety when I try to do anything, and often won't even try for fear of failure. This is something I'm working on. I have also been depressed my entire life, and I'm getting treatment for that too. As part of improving my health, I have to accept the fact that I no longer believe in Jehovah's Witnesses. I have spent many, many sleepless nights over this. You have no idea the pain and turmoil I have put myself through fighting this outcome. I have spent years trying to convince myself that this is the truth and that I need to follow the rules no matter what. However, I cannot pretend to believe in something I no longer accept. I expect that this news will shock you. Had you told me the same thing a year ago, I would have been shocked. However, for my own sanity, I need to stop trying to force myself to practice something that I stopped believing long ago. I do not expect you to approve of this decision, but I hope you will respect that it is my decision to make and not hold it against me. If God is loving, I know He will understand my decision. I think the July 2009 Awake said it better than I can. No one should be made to worship in a way they find unacceptable, or be made to choose between their beliefs and their family. If you would like to know the specific things that led me to this decision, I encourage you to read my second letter. The letter you are reading now will not include any information that could make you uncomfortable because I wish to respect your beliefs. But in the second letter, I spare no detail, and you will learn things about me that you do not know. I know when Dad changed religions, Grandma and Grandpa were terrible to him. Mom's family was not much better to her when they became Jehovah's Witnesses. I truly hope that you will choose differently and still love me instead of shunning me. The fear of everyone I love abandoning me has been indescribably stressful. But I need to do what is best for myself, and I need to take a stand for what I believe is right. I hope you will choose to understand and not decide to change our relationship. I want to say again, it is my sincere hope that you will accept that I am changing my beliefs, but not changing my love for you as my family, and that you will still love me and not choose to treat me any differently. I think of some of the times we have shared together and the times we still have to share in the future. Sorry, this is kind of hard to read. So I'm going to take their names out just because, well, for privacy, I suppose. I want to respect their privacy. Sister number 1. Remember the lemonade stands we used to have in front of Grandma's house? I will never forget when that man tried to walk off with you and I grabbed your hand and took you back. Or how we spent all the money we made on store-brand candy bars, put them into a bowl, and microwaved them into one blob. I get sick just thinking about it now. The drinking party we had when you turned 21 is still the best party ever. None before or after has been as fun. I remember when you called me in the middle of the night because you thought your boyfriend was going to propose to you. You married a great man, and I am so happy you said yes. Sister number 2. Even though I always wanted a younger brother, I always loved watching Star Wars and doing nerd things with you, especially playing Pokemon secretly. Remember the garage sale you had at the alley of my house in Algoma? Not many sales, but it was fun hanging out with you all day. The trip back to Nebraska with you was so much fun. I loved that museum in Missouri, and seeing the eclipse together was just incredible. I know we have not gotten along sometimes, but I love you more than I can describe. You are the kindest, most loving person I know. Sister number 3. I think you took it harder than anyone when I moved out of our parents' house and got married. Although quite often I thought of you as my annoying little sister. You and I are more alike than anyone else in the family. It was a long time ago, but I liked going places like Chuck E. Cheese with you and doing silly things like recreating the Hot Kool-Aid video. You married a great man, and I always love hanging out with both of you. And this was for one of my brothers-in-law. Was my best friend. You truly are the best friend I could have in the entire world. I couldn't possibly list all the adventures we have had together. I would not be the man I am today without you. That is not an overstatement. That is a fact. Whether it was spending the entire weekend playing Rock Band, learning to play Killer Bunnies, going to the middle of nowhere to geocache, driving an hour to play D&D, splitting an apartment, or any of the other adventures I dragged you along with, you have always been there for me. Mom and Dad, I want you to know you raised me well. You had really awful situations to deal with, whether it was financial issues, the elder in Nebraska who hurt Dad, or fighting with doctors and insurance companies. There were so many challenges you faced, yet we always had food, love, and a place to live. I had a great childhood, and I thank you both for that. I don't blame you for the mental health issues I am dealing with. It's not your fault. I remember getting that huge doe last time I went hunting with Dad. That was so much fun. And Mom, you have always been there when I needed a shoulder to... Sorry, this is really hard to read. And Mom, you have always been there for me when I needed a shoulder to cry on. You are both the best parents I could have ever asked for. I want to reiterate, I have not sinned and I am not being punished. I am not hiding anything. There is no practical benefit that I will receive from making this decision. And knowing that the family I love may choose to push me away breaks my heart. Yet I must do what I believe is right. My love for you remains unchanged, and I am willing to accept that we will have different beliefs now. I respect your beliefs, and respect your right to choose your beliefs. All I ask in return is the same respect. I am willing to avoid discussing religion with you, or any other topics that could make you uncomfortable to preserve our relationship. I am not going to push you away, and I hope you make the same choice. With love, Joey. So that was the letter I wrote and I hand-delivered a copy to everyone in my family to try to explain myself, I guess, and to try to go through this without losing them. It's not what they wanted, unfortunately, but it's Jehovah's Witness policies to shun former members. So with the background of that letter, that sets the scene at least of what I was hoping would happen. I feel like it sets it pretty well. So that's definitely not what happened. I'm going to share some text messages I have between some people in my family because, well, it's an easy way to validate. Here's exactly what was said. If I could show pages of texts I've sent that were ignored and nobody ever replied to, but that's not really as interesting. So instead, I'll share some of the messages I have that I've had. So this is one of my brothers-in-law. I invited my sister and him over for, dinner or something. Here's the conversation I had afterwards. My brother-in-law says, Joey, thanks for the invitation, but we have decided not to associate with you because you told us that you weren't going to live in the way that contrary to Bible teachings, but your recent actions have indicated otherwise. Sad that you lied. So I have a number of problems with this statement. So I never said I wasn't going. Well, maybe I did. I don't. Maybe I did say I wasn't going to live in a way that contradicts the Bible. I don't know. I don't think I said that. Maybe I did. If I did say it, well, I should have the freedom to change my mind. Also, I haven't done anything that's strictly against the Bible. I mean, I haven't gone out and killed anyone. I haven't cheated on my wife. So I have done plenty of things against Jehovah's Witness doctrine, but as I hope is clear, it's because I don't believe in it anymore. So I replied to him, I'm not sure what you mean. What have I done that isn't in the Bible? And he says, celebrating pagan holidays. Again, this is a Jehovah's Witness thing. They won't just say what it is. They have to play these kind of games, and it's annoying. So I said, I admit over the last few months, I don't have the Bible in as high regards as I used to. But plenty of Christians celebrate Christmas. That's not contradictory to the Bible, just the JW understanding of it. And like I said, I don't believe in JWs anymore, so I don't follow their rules. I don't see how that's a lie. And last thing he said was just, we respect your choice, so please respect ours in turn. Shunning me and cutting me out of your life is not respect. So I just said my idea of respect would be agreeing to disagree and still being a family. Frankly, that's extremely hurtful that you and my sister don't feel the same way. I went out of my way to explain that I don't believe JWs anymore, and I'm sorry that you misunderstood what that meant. I still love my sister and will always be here for you guys. That sucked. That sucks. That conversation just sucks. I was really hoping that we could have a mutual respect, even though we have different beliefs. But, well, I guess not. So anyway, my mom also has been completely ignoring me. And I guess I should preface this by saying the further away I get from Jehovah's Witnesses, the harder of a time I have remembering how Jehovah's Witnesses think. You know what I mean? As my mind is being freed from the cult mindset, I have a harder and harder time remembering what that cult mindset is like. So I'm sure my mom is upset at herself, thinks she did something wrong or bad, is why I left Jehovah's Witnesses. And I don't want her to feel that way because, that's not true. I even said in my letter that, that's not true. So anyway, I was browsing the internet and I came across this image a while back. And it says, your kids are not leaving the church because you didn't train them enough. Your kids are leaving the church because you trained them well enough to develop a sense for truth and justice. You let them read the words of Jesus and they got it. And they've recognized the church doesn't seem to be interested in those words. They're not leaving because they don't know the truth. They're leaving because they do. And so when I read that, I think, wow, this helps show that, it's not my mom's fault. Fault. I don't think there's any fault to be had. But if there were, it's not my mom's fault that I'm not a Jehovah's Witness anymore. I'm doing what's right, and I hope she can feel that way. So, I saw this and I thought, oh, my mom might appreciate this, so I sent it to her. I don't know what I was expecting, but the reply I got was, please stop sending me garbage like this. We took the girls off your cell phone plan this weekend. Not really the reply I was hoping for, but I tried to, just kind of, I don't know, change the subject or something. And instead of her replying, my dad replied. And he said, if you send mom one more text like the one tonight, I will have her block you permanently and change your phone number. You're breaking her heart with your little rebellion. And I won't let her suffer like that because I love her. This is quite possibly one of the most hurtful things I've ever been told in my life. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard for my family to understand that I love them and I need to do what's best for me, but they won't have it. Jehovah's Witnesses shun people who leave without exception. And again, I'm not showing you all this because I want pity or sympathy or attention or anything like that. When Jehovah's Witnesses say they do not shun former members, that is a lie. And I hope, sharing some of my experience helps to see just how horrible it is leaving Jehovah's Witnesses and how they abuse people who leave and try to manipulate them. It's terrible. I'm not mad at anyone at my family. They're cult victims too. Their minds aren't free. I really hope someday, they choose. I hope someday they choose differently. I hope someday they choose love. I don't care what they believe. They could be part of any religion, and that's fine with me. I don't care what you believe. I really wish I could still have my family. Yeah, I still hold out hope that, maybe someone in my family, will decide they still want me in their life. But anyway, so I hope that this video helps you see that, when Jehovah's Witnesses try to dance around the question of shunning or not give a direct answer, they're lying. It's straight up a lie. Jehovah's Witnesses emotionally abuse former members. That is what they are supposed to do, and that is what they do. So if you know anyone maybe that's starting to get involved in this cult, keep them away from it if at all possible, because it's leaving it is a nightmare. You literally lose everyone and everything. So anyway, sorry for the depressing video. I hope this can help kind of set the record straight from some of the lies witnesses tell. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great night, everyone.